The next thing I'd like to show you is a classic recipe for some buttermilk pancakes. You cannot go wrong with a solid recipe for pancakes to have in your file. Before I even begin mixing up our pancake batter, I want to make sure we have a griddle that is hot and waiting for us. What I have here is called a French grill, a grill pan. Sometimes they're just simply called indoor grills. I'm using the smooth side. The other side actually has lines, so you'll get nice grill marks if you want to do a sandwich or a piece of fish. In this case, because we're doing pancakes, I want to do the smooth side, and I want to make sure that our griddle is nicely coated with some butter. I prefer using butter. You could simply use vegetable oil at home. If you have a good cooking spray, feel free to use that as well. In our bowl, we have all of our dry ingredients. In this case, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and 3 tablespoons of sugar. I've whisked these all together. The whisking not only is making sure everything is uniform, but it's also helping to lighten the mixture a little bit, making sure we don't have any lumps in our flour. To this mixture, we're going to add all of our liquid ingredients. I have 2 large eggs that I've just broken up, lightly beaten. Add those. We've got 3 cups of buttermilk. Again, I love using buttermilk for that tang or a little bit of acidity you get. And last but not least, we have 4 tablespoons of melted, unsalted butter. Just like I was discussing with the waffles, it's really important to make sure all these ingredients are nicely mixed, but a little bit of lump is fine. So if you are mixing and mixing and mixing and you're noticing you just can't get rid of those little lumps, stop mixing and just cook it with a lump. If you overwork your flour, remember you're going to get a tough pancake, and we most definitely do not want tough pancakes. So I'm just looking for everything to look nice and uniform. I can feel the heat coming off of my griddle. Because this is cast iron, it's producing a little bit of smoke, which is okay. Cast iron likes to smoke. It doesn't in fact mean that my butter is burning. It just means the cast iron is nice and hot waiting for us. I like to use a little dry measuring cup to transfer my pancake batter onto the griddle. And this is a 1/4 cup. I think it's going to be a nice sized pancake. Not huge, not small, kind of right in the middle. And I will load up my griddle with as many pancakes that can fit comfortably. In this case, it's probably going to be about 4. And that first one I put down, you can see what's already starting to happen. A lot of people struggle with when do I turn my pancake. The first thing you're going to notice is you're going to get some bubbles, which that's happening already. And you're also going to get a dry edge around your pancake. When this edge dries out and you have some nice bubble action, you know you're free to turn your pancakes. So you don't have to do that lift up one corner and peek. Look for the dry edge and watch for the bubbles, and your pancake should be ready to turn. The bubbles, actually it's telling me that the leavening agents we've used in our batter, they're actually working, producing a little bit of gas, which is giving us that loft that I'm looking for with the pancake. Again, bubbles were telling me, dry edge was telling me. Now going to flip them over, hopefully not tear too many of them. The first couple of batches are really tricky with pancakes. Usually they're the ones that I set aside and nibble on myself until you get your grill regulated as far as the temperature and the size you want to make. Like I said, the first few, it's always an experiment. When you turn your pancake over, you'll notice the first thing it does is continue to puff, which is good. The second side is not going to take as long as the first side to cook. So don't give it as much time. This first one, because it's also on a hot spot on the grill, is ready to come off. I have nice color on both sides, and I'm going to transfer this onto a plate. If you were making a number of pancakes, you can hold them in the oven. So have a cookie sheet waiting in your oven. Keep your oven at about 200 degrees and simply transfer your pancakes into the oven. as you pull them off the grill, so they stay nice and warm for everyone involved. Usually pancakes are something that I like to make for a large group of people. I'm having several guests over for brunch. I'll do a whole sheet pan full of pancakes. Make sure the maple syrup or the fruit compote you're serving with them is nice and hot. That'll also help to reheat your pancakes. But hold them in the oven so everyone gets a nice warm pancake. So again, going to look for color on both sides, off the grill. When you're working with a French grill or an indoor grill pan, the space that's in between the two heating elements, which would be right here, is going to be the coolest. So this pancake's actually going to take the longest amount of time versus the pancakes that were put on these two spots. Those are naturally the hot spots on the grill pan. So pay attention to that. This one is going to come off last. And there you have it, 4 beautiful pancakes. As you can see, really straightforward, simple to put together. No need to reach for your box of Bisquick. When you see how simple it is to put together those dry ingredients, simply add your liquid ingredients and you're ready to roll. Again, no sticking. It did not resist the turn, so I know these are ready to turn. And I've got a nice amount of color. Get to know your grill pans. They're all different. They all work differently. Some have incredible hot spots that you need to pay attention to. And some are just perfect. If you have one of those electric griddles, a lot of people really enjoy using those. Absolutely fine. Whatever works for you at home. If it's a new grill pan, don't get frustrated. Practice with it. Assume that things are not going to be perfect right away. Just because it's cast iron, it needs time. Certainly time to season, but it also requires a little bit of practice. So I have very nice color on both sides, ready to come off the griddle. Again, just like the pancakes or the waffles, if you're making, serving 6 people, make them in batches, hold them in a warm oven. Preheat your oven to about 200 degrees, throw them on a cookie sheet, and you can just cover them with a clean kitchen towel to keep them warm so everyone gets to eat hot waffles, hot pancakes, hot French toast at the same time. Here I have a plate of beautiful French toast waiting for my gingerberry compote. What could be better for brunch? I am Michael Montgomery from the Culinary School of the Rockies. Hope you learned a little bit about some brunch staples. All right. And if you want to get those with a little bit of this compote, they'll be a lot prettier.
Right.
So I wanted to get a still of that. All right, that was it.
Good. What you get going right there?
Oh, something that I didn't mean to leave on. Maple syrup for us.
That would be what I would do.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of made maple candy now.
That worked out well.
Good.
So if I was going to split those, I think you did 2-1.
I did pancakes